Barnabas Collins has gone back in time to Collinwood in the year 1897. There he must unravel a mystery of the past in order to save the life of a young boy in the present. But as time moves forward again, the mystery becomes more complex. On this day, Laura Collins has suddenly returned to Collinwood, knowing that she will be unwelcomed by her husband Edward, and knowing also that she will strike terror into the heart of at least one other Collins.
Edward!
Hello, Quentin. I've been looking forward to seeing you again. We have a lot to talk about, you and I. Don't we?
No. You're dead. I saw you die.
You saw me die? What a bizarre thing to say.
Don't come near me.
Quentin, what is the matter with you? You and I were always such close friends. Now, all of a sudden, you're afraid of me.
I know what I saw. You were sacrificed on a burning pyre in Alexandria. You're dead.
Oh, Quentin, that's utterly absurd. How could I possibly be here?
I don't know. But you were surrounded by flames. You couldn't have lived through it.
Tell me something.
I told you to stay where you are.
Oh, that makes you feel any better. Quentin, do I look any different to you now than when we were together?
Now, don't try to convince me.
Even if what you claim were true and I had somehow managed to escape the fire, surely I'd be scarred for life, wouldn't I? Do I look scarred to you, Quentin?
No.
Of course I don't. When we were in Egypt together, you were so wrapped up in the occult and the supernatural that you lost contact with reality. Your vision of me being sacrificed at the burning pyre was nothing more than an hallucination or a very bad dream.
No. You have come back to haunt me.
Quentin, I suggest you get hold of yourself and face certain facts. I am here. I'm quite alive. I'm not an apparition. Here, take my hand, and you'll see.
I don't want to touch you.
Oh, well, there was a time when you wouldn't have hesitated at all. I think you better take my hand, Quentin, at least to convince yourself. After all, if you're going to run around telling people that I'm dead, they may have you committed. I'm waiting. There. You see? I'm the same warm-blooded woman I always was. Do you feel a bit more at ease now?
No. And I never will with you in this house.
That's your guilt speaking.
Don't you talk to me about guilt.
Well, unlike you, I am prepared to deal with mine.
Yeah, and what does that mean, huh?
It means I've learned my lesson. I have come back here to beg Edward for a second chance.
Oh, the repentant.
Oh, you feel the urge to laugh.
Oh, yes, I do indeed.
All right, go ahead.
No. I'll wait for Edward. He and I haven't had a good laugh together in years.
Oh, you're just the same as you always were, Quentin. You haven't changed a bit. You're just as conceited and vile as ever.
Why don't you tell me the real reason you're here?
Because why I'm here is none of your business.
Oh? Well, dear, I intend to make it my business.
Don't, Quentin. Take my advice and leave me alone. I want nothing to do with you. Do you understand that? Nothing. You're a stranger to me. A total stranger.
Well, you two didn't waste any time, did you?
Edward.
Did you smell each other out? Or was it all prearranged?
I hadn't the slightest idea she was here.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Edward, will you kindly be quiet for a minute and listen to me?
You knew she was coming back. You sent for her, didn't you? But it isn't going to work, dear brother. It isn't going to work at all. The two of you may pick up where you left off if you wish, but not in this house. Not in this house!
Are you finished now?
I am.
Well, then you may be happy to know my true feelings. I did not send for her, nor do I want her here or in Collinsport. And the sooner you send her as far away from here as possible, the better off we'll all be.
Now, just what kind of a scheme is this?
It isn't a scheme at all. Get rid of her.
That is precisely what I intend to do. There is enough money here that will take care of you for quite a while, if you use it wisely. Take it and leave. Now, Laura!
Well, now you've both had your little say. I think it's only fair that I have mine. I did not come back here for money, Edward. I came back because I've changed. And I intend to prove it. So I suggest you take this back and resign yourself to the reality of the situation. I'm back to stay. And there is nothing that you or anyone else can do to make me leave.
You are leaving this house, with or without the money. Make no mistake about that.
If you force me to leave, Edward, it is you who will be making the mistake.
What does that mean?
I think we'd better have a private talk in your study.
Very well. Let no one know that she's here. Do you understand?
Don't worry, dear brother. You have nothing to fear.
I'm looking forward to being mistress of Collinwood again.
You could never be that, even if you were welcome here. A lot has happened since you've been gone. Judith is now mistress of Collinwood.
Judith?
Yes. Grandmother died and left her the house and almost all of the money.
Oh, I see. Well, I can't afford to stand on pride, can I? I'll just have to be content to be Mrs. Edward Collins.
It is never going to happen. Now say what you have to say and then leave.
Edward, I have tried to make this at least palatable for you. I've said I was sorry. I have begged for mercy. I thought all this would make it easier for you to accept me back here.
It would if I believed you, but I don't.
All right. Let me put it this way. You have the power to put me out of this house, but if you do, you will be the laughingstock of all Collinsport, if not the whole state.
What are you saying?
Just what exactly did you tell your friends when I left here? That I'd gone on an extended vacation, or that I'd been taken ill and was to be confined in a hospital,
What I told people is unimportant.
True. The important thing is what you didn't tell them, that I ran off with your charming brother. How many people know that, Edward?
Only you and I and Quentin and Judith.
Well, if you reject me now, do you realize how many people are going to know?
You wouldn't dare do that.
If you don't let me stay here, I intend to go. and live any way I can right in Collinsport.
I'll have you run out of town.
Oh, not before I cause the biggest scandal this family's ever known.
You say you care for the children, and yet you're so low as to cause a scandal which would ruin their lives.
Because I am so desperate. Edward, I've told you, I have nowhere else to go, no one else to turn to. Besides, I'm not going to ruin their lives. Oh, no, I know you too well. You'll never allow it. Family pride is your greatest weakness, Edward. You'll go to any length to avoid a public scandal.
Don't be too sure of that.
All right. Then I'll leave now. I've already taken a room at the Collinsport Inn. Goodbye.
Wait! You will go to the inn and get your belongings and bring them back here.
Thank you, Edward.
I haven't finished. There are going to be certain conditions.
They better have nothing to do with the children.
Be quiet and listen. There will be a room upstairs for you when you come back. You will stay there temporarily. Until I can arrange to have a cottage prepared for you.
I should be here if I'm to be mistress of Collinwood.
You are not going to be mistress. Let that be understood now. You will stay in the cottage. You will go your way, and I will go mine.
And how will we explain that to the children?
You will leave that to me.
When may I see them, Edward?
We'll make the necessary arrangements when you've moved in. Now, when do you think that will be?
I shall be in residence by sometime this evening. Au revoir, Edward.
I want to call Worthington Hall School in Rockport, and I'd like to speak to the Reverend Trask. Please hurry. Thank you. Reverend Trask, this is Edward Collins. I have decided I don't want to wait a few days before sending the children to you. I would like to have it done immediately. Yes. Today, can you arrange it? Fine. How soon can he be here? Splendid, Reverend. And thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. Collins.
What's good about it?
Is something wrong?
Yes, indeed. Something is very wrong.
What do you mean?
Oh, there's nothing anyone can do about it. My dear brother has already done the damage.
What do you mean?
He's allowed his wife to return. He's welcomed the fallen woman back into the fold. He must be out of his mind.
Mrs. Collins is back?
Yes, in all her glory.
I thought she was never going to come back here.
That's what we all thought.
Why do you seem so upset?
Rachel, sometime we'll sit down and I'll tell you all about Laura Collins. In the meantime, you must excuse me. I need a drink. Maybe several drinks.
Tim!
Hello, Rachel.
It's so good to see you again.
I've missed you.
Oh, and I've missed you too. Oh, no,
Rachel? What's the matter?
Trask was here. He told me that you'd gone back to the school. That isn't true, is it?
Yes, I'm afraid it is.
How could you go back to that place? What are you doing here now?
Trask sent me.
To talk to me. Well, it's not going to do any good. You know that.
No. He'll talk to you himself. I'm here to get the Collins children and take them back to the school with me.
No.
I'm sorry, Rachel.
I don't believe it. I don't believe Mr. Collins would send his children back to that place.
Well, it's true. He made the arrangements this afternoon.
I don't believe you, Tim. I never thought that you would go back to that place. But you did. Why? That's what I can't understand. Why? You and I ran away from that place together. We promised each other that we'd always be free after that. What happened to you?
Trask caught up with me. He gave me the choice either of returning to the school or of being turned into the police.
The police?
Rachel, there's something I've never told you about. Something that happened shortly before we ran away.
What was that?
You remember Simon Breyer?
Mrs. Trask's brother.
Well, when I went to get the money that Trask was supposed to be holding for us, Simon caught me. He accused me of stealing it. Well, we got into a fight. I knocked him unconscious. Or so I thought.
What does that mean?
Simon died that night. Trask says I killed him.
You didn't, did you?
Trask says he can prove I can. How can I prove otherwise? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I did kill him. But whether I did or not, there's no way I could prove my innocence in a court of law. I knew that. So I just decided to go ahead and fulfill the rest of the contract. I think it was really a good thing.
A good thing? How can you say that? That man is a sadist.
But you and I were very good for the children, and as long as I'm there... Besides, I've decided to take a new attack with him anyway.
And what is that?
Well, I know you can't persuade him to change his mind. It's impossible for anyone to do that, but I am trying to temper him. I think perhaps I can get him to be more tolerant with the children.
You're not succeeding, are you?
Oh, I'm making some progress. Rachel, listen. Isn't it really better to light even one candle and to curse the darkness?
Tim, he's taken all the spirit out of you. All your will to fight back. He's defeated you.
Perhaps you'd better ask the children to come down. Surely they're ready by now. I have work to do at the school.
Yes, of course. You must not linger here too long. You must be a good teacher. You must not do anything that might anger your headmaster.
Angelique? Where are you? Please come to me now. You said if I ever needed you, I was to come here and summon you. Well, I'm summoning you. Appear to me.
The children and their luggage are in the carriage. Thank you for allowing me to say goodbye to them alone.
Of course.
Tim, I'm sorry for what I said before. I know how mean and intimidating Trask can be, even for somebody who's strong. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
What are you going to do now that the children are gone?
Well, Mr. Collins just told me that I could stay another week or two until he sees how it works out at the school.
Maybe we'll see each other again.
Maybe. I don't know.
Angelique! Angelique, you made me a promise. Now you owe it to me to keep it. I helped you, now you must help me, do you hear?
You've taken to talking to yourself, Gordon? That's a bad habit.
What are you doing here?
Oh. Didn't Edward tell you that I'd be staying here?
Yes, he told me.
Are you up to your old occult tricks? If you're imploring your own dark deities to get rid of me, you can forget it.
You're dead.
You've been drinking again. Oh, I really must have you very worried.
I saw you die in Alexandria. I saw it.
You imagined it.
I didn't imagine it. Now you're dead, aren't you? Aren't you?
How can
Answer
I
me.
possibly answer a question like that?
Well, then I'm going to have to answer it for myself.
Quentin! Let me go! You're hurting me, Quentin.
Hurting you? Dear Laura, I'm going to do far more than hurt you. If you're not dead now, you're going to be very soon.